So this little deal I thought was a rollover valve is actually the vent valve. It has to be mounted higher than the filler neck of the tank. So the easiest place for me to mount this that's higher than that is on this spring perch. So I need to drill a hole up here that this will fit in. I don't think it'll affect anything. There's already a couple holes drilled in there. But I am gonna have to pull the shock off and get it out of the way. So I'm gonna support the rear end. Otherwise, when I release the pressure off the shock, the rear end will drop and that coil spring could potentially pop out of there. Drill ourselves a pilot hole. And I'm just going to use a unibit to drill the rest of the way. Take this guy off. See if the hole is big enough. Almost. Looks like I need to go one step up. Make sure it'll all clear the shock. Should be good to go. It's not completely flat up there, so it's sitting at kind of an angle, but we'll be all right. We'll hook some rubber up to that. Come back over here where that T is. I'm not sure if the filler neck is supposed to go on first or later. But the old tank came out with the filler neck. So I'm going to install this one first. And I'm just going to leave the clamps loose so I have a little more flexibility with it. Tank is in. Now it came with new straps, but it didn't come with any isolators. The old tank didn't have any isolators either. So maybe it's not something that's used on these cars. Just kind of shifting this around to see where it fits snuggest to the body. And then now I can tighten the straps. I'm gonna call that good for now. We may have to retension this down the road. I just have to tighten the jam nut on the top of the tank. Put the nut and the bolt through the filler neck. Tighten the two clamps on the filler neck. I got this fuel filter bracket off of a different fuel filter. I'll just drill a hole in this bracket where I need it, and then I will slightly enlarge the hole that's already in the cross member. I can put a nut and a bolt through that, and as that tightens down, it'll squeeze that fuel filter slightly and hold it in place. And my hoses are just slightly longer than I expected. I probably could have gone about another inch shorter on the length, but I left myself some wiggle room. They do flex and they just curve up and over that filter. So I went ahead and finished up a few things on the fuel filter mount and the vent hose. I also extended the wire for the sending unit. That way I have enough slack to tie that into the other end of the connector. So I trimmed the bottom of that bracket off, flush with this cross member, and then ground it down and cleaned it up so there was no sharp edges. The vent hose, I decided to run it in the nylon as well, and it kind of loops around and goes in front of this cross member and then loops around next to the shock and goes up to that valve. I haven't crimped it yet because I want to pull that valve out and see if I can get a little straighter, change the angle of it just slightly. I got these clamps tightened up. They have a jam nut on the top. That's tight as well. The clamps are tight for the filler neck. The support bracket is bolted up. I haven't installed a fuel cap yet. I want to check the condition of the cap we have now and clean it up. If it's not in very good shape, then we'll just get a new one. I have some fuel line on order. Should be here in the next couple of days, so I can build the fuel lines from this filter down the frame rail to the front of the engine. And I need to get that done before I can run the exhaust system, which I'm still waiting on the exhaust system, so that shouldn't be a big deal to get that done first. I'm gonna wrap it up here for today. The next video will probably be me running the fuel line from the rear to the front. It's gonna be quite challenging because I would like to do it all in one run, but I'm not sure if I'll be able to manage that. I may have to put a union somewhere in the middle of it just because of the angles and stuff I have to work around the frame. If you're not already subscribed, go ahead and do that. Click the bell. You'll be notified when I come out with the next video so you don't miss any part of the series. If you're watching this in the future and I already have all the videos out, there will be a link to the playlist down below. So if you're looking for the entire series, go down to the description, click the link, and you'll find all the videos on this vehicle that I've done. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.